All right then, everyone. Hello and welcome to the Season 11 reveal stream. Before we get started, please someone give me a quick little audio check there to make sure everything is working. This is a format that we don't usually do too often, about once a season, so it's always a bit unsure of how these things work. Um, so as long as I can be heard properly, that is all good. Okay, first microphone check is good. We're gonna give it up for the second one. When usually I have Matty with me doing these streams, sort of change things up a little bit for season 11. Please welcome to the reveal stream for the first time in NEF1 history and reigning NEF1 champion, Squidge 2017. How are you doing, my friend?
Hello, Sabbers. I am doing very good, mate. How are you doing?
I am doing very, very well. Always an exciting time to be head admin of NEF1 this when we're just about to get underway with things. Just see how things are going to progress. Relatively the same lineup as last season. Obviously, we'll get into that in a little bit. But it's always that time of year when it's just a lot to do, but it's going to be damn fun going through these and just yap on for what usually is an extended period of time.
Indeed, I know a lot of these fellow drivers absolutely adore the amount of yapping that you and Matty usually do. So I'm here to try and fill in the shoes of Matty and yap even more.
Yeah, you've got quite a job to do if you're going to be able to do it. As Matty's in chat saying you're unfortunately heard loud and clear, so that is good. Hopefully Matt will be enjoying just watching this stream this time around and not having to deal with me for the better part of 2 hours, I think. If anyone wants to bring up how long we did this before heading into season 10, that'd be even better. We aim to set another record here tonight. We have got just on the agenda a bit of talk about season 11, a lot of talk about season 10 and what has happened. Obviously, a lot of talk of what is to come as well. Got a couple of awards set with full driver rankings from last season as well, and some speculation heading into next season. Uh, so if anyone doesn't mind, I think we're going to get straight onto it because we got quite a full agenda, Squidge, haven't we?
Yes, it is just a fair couple of slides to get through, I'm pretty sure.
Indeed, we got a couple of slides to go through, so let me just go through them. And we're going to start off with the implementation of something that has been a very, very, very missed feature in NEF1 over the last couple of seasons. That is the new era sprint races are finally coming back into NEF1. We voted on this in an open admin meeting a couple of weeks ago. The format we decided on didn't go too good. It did not go too well, unfortunately, and it's just a bit awkward. So what we're gonna do, Nathan, is we are scrapping qualifying, and we might be relegating you to start quite low down the field. For anyone who thinks this is familiar, this is the Formula 2 sprint system. However, without a qualifying, we'll go reverse championship order instead. So what we are going to do is we are going to flip the top 10 in the championship order. P11 downwards will remain the same. So whomever is P10 in the championship will start on pole position for the sprint race. The finishing order for the sprint race will set the grid for the main feature race as well, which will be normal 50% Grand Prix. We'll have to do a lobby restart in between to make sure the grid is set up in the correct order. That should progress pretty smoothly, hopefully. And we'll work on optimizing that throughout the season. We're going to have 3 sprint races over the season. Nathan, would you mind taking us through the point system of these races?
Indeed, so as we've done a slight change to the point system compared to the actual Formula One way of doing sprints. We are doing 10 points for first place, then 8 points for second, 6 points for third, and then 5 points for fourth, 4 points for fifth, 3 points for sixth, 2 points for seventh, and 1 point for eighth. It gives a little bit more of a gap if you're at the top, and a bit more reason to fight for those more front positions, which might make our job for the front guys a bit more harder to get through, which is what we're trying to make happen and make also then the feature race a bit more exciting as well.
Indeed, obviously, I'm already saying indeed a lot. If anyone wants to throw up an indeed counter, then it'll be very, very appreciated, is what I tend to say quite a bit. Uh, so yeah, the intention of this system is to make sure it's a bit harder for you, as you mentioned, the front guys to get through, and you'll see that with our choice of sprint races as well. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy baking later on when we get to, especially the second sprint of the season. We'll get onto that in. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. No fastest lap point for the sprint, but that will be introduced for the main feature races once again. We didn't throw up a fancy slide for it, but the fastest lap point will be reintroduced into NEF1 and will be handed out to anyone in the field, just giving that bit more incentive for everyone to finish the race, because there will always be something to fight for, even if you're P20 and plumb last after the first couple of laps.
Indeed, it definitely gives that, especially the guys at the back, um, well, a reason to stay around and try and set the fastest lap. It could be crucial later down the line with 1 or 2 points. I know, obviously, compared with last season, it could have changed quite, especially the constructors championship, quite a lot if we had the fastest lap point in. So it's going to be interesting with the. There's only 1 point a race, but it does stack up after a few races.
Yeah, it becomes 18 points over the course of the entire season. That 18 race calendar is not going away, so don't you worry about it. But it does become quite a volume over the course of the season, which is. Yeah, it's going to be exciting just to see that point spread out a little bit over the course of the season as well, hopefully. Uh, it's going to be hard for you front guys to be able to snatch it away. Some races I'm sure you will, but we are hoping to create a bit of drama towards the rear of the field and with a pit stop, maybe with a lap or two to go. So that is two of the changes, the main changes heading into season 11 in NEF1. So we are going to crack on with the next segment of this stream, which is going to be the absolute longest one. It is time to go over what happened in season 10, and as you can see right now, you have the season 10 drivers championship in front of you. As you can see, Squidge 2017, yours truly finished P1, becoming a one-time NEF1 champion on 319 points over Matty Adams 275 and Tessa's 247. Obviously, the first thing you'll be drawn to is that P1 result. But when you're looking at this table in the neutral perspective, say, is there anything to you that really pops out here?
Um, there is a couple. There's been a couple of good rookies this season, so Orman's done really well. Um, did better than me in my first rookie season. I think I scored about 70 points, so he's beat me on that one. Then there's also a couple of drivers where you'd think have really, I don't want to say not shown, but like you wouldn't think would be as low on the table where they are. Um, but I think overall, the season has been so tight between the midfield. It, if you're off by a tenth or two, you could be all of a sudden from P4 all the way down to P10. So the midfield has been really tight this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again as for this season as well.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at this table, the main thing obviously you're gonna draw your eyes to straight away is that battle for maybe P6 down to maybe even P10, P11. It is very, very close in the midfield. Even if you include Noah's a couple of points ahead of Ray, about 30 points there. But Ray down to Djokovic, down to Holman, what's Mr. Wilco, separated by 20 points. A little more than 20 points. Those positions being so tightly grouped together, and that's the cusp of the points every single week that you see. It's so hard now to break into the top 10 in this league, and it's created a bit of a different championship than anything we've seen before. It's also created a lower emphasis on where the points end up than what we had before. Usually those 100 points go down to about P6 and P7 as well. Now only the top 5 crawling over the 100 point gap.
Yeah, I think that just shows the in some ways the a big pace gap. I mean, obviously, me, Matty, and Tez, we've we've done very well this season. I think we've had the entire season where at least one of us has been on the podium for every single race. Um, and there is the gaps do get bigger once you go up the table. Especially like for the midfield guys. A lot of the midfield guys, I feel like they have the pace. It's just whether they want to, but whether they can push themselves to them drive themselves up the field to more fighting with us guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of a different league now than when it was even just a couple of seasons ago, even just one season ago. But we can see there as well that, say, for example, points that last season would have gone to Ray. Now probably you can count 20 of those points at least away to drivers like Djokovic, Holman, Iwat, Luna, Emreina, Jamar in a couple of races as well. And it's that type of close racing in the midfield that just spreads it out a little bit and makes it look less close than what it is. Because obviously in the races, these guys were up challenging. They were scoring podiums. They were challenging for those high positions, P4s, P5s, every single race. But it was just so tight in that midfield. A lot of different guys were doing it a lot of different weeks. And that's created this massive midfield battle that I'm going to say Ray all the way down to Jamar was one really tight battle over the course of the season.
Yeah, I mean exactly. It's I mean one race you could have somebody like Ray. Well, he was for Silverstone. He was firing me for the win, and then the next race he could be finishing down in P7, and J-Mark could be up in P3. The the pace difference in the midfield for some tracks is so minor. It's almost more difficult than fighting sometimes the front because there's just so many cars all jammed in that midfield part of the area.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about. There's a lot of variables going into strategy, how you approach a race, what moves you really want to go for, and just strategy calls as well. It's a bit of a different style of racing than what we've seen before in that midfield, which has been very enjoyable. But if it was to go through all the drivers, obviously you prepared your list, I prepared mine of a pure driver rankings. The first time we've done this out of a 10 system, starting from the bottom down. Do you reckon we give this a go and just drag things out a little bit more before we actually give people the content that they want heading into season 11? Do we go through all the drivers? Just speak briefly about their season. Do you reckon?
I think we should. I think we can do some top tier dragging out here.
We'll start off then with, unfortunately, in last place in the in the driver standings this season was Darren Style, who just had a tremendously difficult season. Darren Style, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, some ways just the pace keeps going up with games, and sometimes some people might not be able to stick with it, but I feel like he's had it a bit tough. A couple of instances and whatever. So for that reason, for my rating, I've gone with the lowest and gone one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Darren Style. 1 point over the course of the season. Uh, at that point, unfortunately, it's got to be a 1 out of 10 for me as well. 1 point over an 18 race season. Uh, there's been a couple of races where it's been close, but there's also races where it's been far off the pace and not really challenging for anything higher than maybe a P14. Uh, at certain races, a couple of races where he's been last out of the finishing drives as well. He's not been able to get those run-up for performances, even the regular P11s, P12s, to just get his confidence up a little bit. It's just not quite come to him this year, and I don't really know why, because this is a driver with really high potential whenever he hooks it up.
Yeah, I mean, every driver's got potential. I feel like this should. I hope this sparks a bit of a fire and hopefully tries to push him back up towards the midfield area. Really, um, I feel like if he can find that spark, he can really be fighting for more of those P10s, P9, P8s again. Same, hopefully scoring a few more points.
Yeah, hopefully. It can really only go one way for Darren Stahl, and that is up after the season he's had. Maybe occasionally you've got to reach an absolute low point in order to just start improving that a little bit as well. So we will be watching Darren Stahl with interest heading into this next season. But unfortunately, a collective 1 out of 10 for Darren Stahl's season 10. His worst season in the F1 to date. Moving on then to Kit 41, and this is a driver who's had his season massively interrupted as well. Came back for the final race of the Grand Prix, did an okay job, seeing how he was driving on absolutely no preparation at all. Just joined back about an hour before we actually got going. Didn't did a good job. He's done a good job in races before. Got those first points of his NEF1 tenure this season. The potential's there. He's just not able to quite find that consistency. He's a bit mistake prone, Kit. Still, you see him in a wall quite regularly still, and it's those types of incidents that's really hindering Kit from moving forward.
Yeah, I definitely think if he can get rid of those instances, that's a Charles Leclerc, if I've ever heard of it. I'm not even gonna attempt to say it again. But if he can get that sorted, he should be able to, especially fight back with, especially with Darren and getting those P10s. But I think he's got a lot of potential in him. I do think he can maybe start working his way up to like the P5s and really start scoring some serious points.
Yeah, it's all a matter about unlocking that final bit of pace and just the confidence to keep it on the track. Maybe just calm down a little bit in a couple of races and just focus on getting those consistent results in, even if it's a position less than what it could be if pushed like an absolute madman. Just settle for a consistency season and then try to move up from there.
Yeah. So for that reason, I have gone for, with his season being obviously massively hampered, I've gone for a rating 4.
Yeah, and we will be agreeing for a second time in the row then. So rating out of 4 out of 10 for me. It could have been a bit higher. He had a couple of chances to sniff away at a couple of extra points there. We could have even seen him up ahead of Wigan and AB2, which we'll get into in a little bit. Just wasn't quite able to get there. It's a 4 out of 10 for me for Kit's season. Moving on then to maybe one of the biggest disappointments of the season, unfortunately, was Wigan 71 season. He was just unable to get going in that Williams. The points came very, very scarce, and they came very, very seldom. Uh, Wigan he didn't look happy in that environment. He didn't look comfortable in the car. Nothing really worked for him, and it was his worst season in any F1 to date, really.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he struggled big time with that Williams car. Um, but from what I've heard, from what people have, what Wiggins said, is he's looking to fight back. So I don't think this will be. I think this will be his worst season, but I think we'll see a decent fight back from him.
Indeed, he's a competitor hard as well as Wigan, obviously doing a bit of motorsport on the side as well, so he'll have that competitive aspect in him. I think season 11 for Wigan is going to be all about refining that rhythm that he had a couple of seasons ago, and he was up into the hundreds of points alongside Matty Adam, winning constructors championships, always fighting for podiums as well. Was Wigan a one-time race winner in NEF1, multiple-time podium sitter as well. So it's not a slow driver we're talking about here. Just didn't quite get to grips with that Williams and on this new game as well. That's a bit different from what he was used to. Obviously had his best seasons, I believe, in F1 22 even.
Oh, that was before my time, so I don't. I only came in during season 6, and F122, I think, was season 5 and season 4, so I didn't get to
Yeah, it
see
would have
that.
been.
So, but I think he's done 18 races now. Oh, he's done a full season on this game. I reckon he should be able to now. He's done most of the tracks uh, on the calendar game, so he should be able to use that to his advantage and hopefully not make too many mistakes and potentially score some more points.
Yeah, I feel optimistic looking at Wigan in for this season. Unfortunately, his rating for last season would have been a 2 out of 10 for me. Just 7 points. It's not really what you expect of a driver from Wigan's caliber, but he did have a very, very tough year.
And you said 2 out of 10, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, it's the third time we are agreeing. So I've also gone 2 out of 10.
I think we could say great minds think alike on that
We
then.
must, it's just incredible minds think alike.
Absolutely. Moving on then to someone who I am sure, yeah, he's actually even commented "be nice" already in chat, is Mr. ABT, who is on a roll of tough seasons at the moment. It's not a roll of tough races. Unfortunately, it's a roll of tough seasons. P17 for BT, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a new lowest for him in NEF1. 9 points over the course of the season. Was up there sniffing at a couple of extra points on a couple of occasions. But again, he just couldn't get going. He was getting nowhere.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes and also a couple of incidents as well, which some of them obviously weren't his fault when he got taken out. I know for one, I was just reading through the Stewart's reports just before this, and I think my name popped up against an instant against him. So I do apologise for that, BT. But I just think sometimes this has got to end at some point. You've got to have something's got to spark soon, surely.
You'd think so. The problem for ABT over the course of these last two seasons, he has a tendency to end up somehow in the vicinity where shit happens to him. Obviously, for anyone who watched Singapore and is aware of that situation, he got taken out by two Aston Martins in the span of two corners, two completely separate incidents as well. It was just pure unlucky with the both of them. So for ABT, luck really does play a factor here, but it's still a business where you kind of make your own luck as well. For that reason, I've had to give BT a 2 out of 10 for this season. It's not quite good enough.
Indeed. Thing is, he knows he's got potential, which is the annoying thing. He knows he's quick, and we've both done races against him, and we both know he's a quick driver. But
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very, very quick driver, which he showed yesterday as well. It was
indeed,
on a roll over these last two races that we've done preparing for season 11. So BT, he should be getting up there this season. He
maybe
really should.
maybe he's better when he's not streaming. Maybe he might be better that way. But I did have the same rating as you. However, I have just changed it. I'm sorry, Adam, but I have gone for a 1 rating because you are you know you're better than that. You know you're better than that, and you know you have the potential to be up there fighting for good points and podiums. So I think, but I don't want to say this season to season because I'm going to curse him, but um, there is potential. That is what I'm going to say. There is potential.
I would like to point out that this time it wasn't me leading the BT slander. So BT, I'll send you my PayPal information later on in Discord, and we'll settle that quietly. Now BT definitely should be improving for next season. It's going to be fun to see him wherever he ends up and with whomever he may end up. Maybe we should try to speed this along a little bit. We'll try to get through these next ones a bit quicker. Next in line, Hybrid had a very, very weird season. Almost all of those points came in one single race. That was, if I'm not mistaken,
Austria,
would have been. Yeah, I can't quite work out how. He must have received a points deduction over the course of the season somewhere, which I'm quite sure he did because he scored 15 points in one single race. He's ended up on 14. Uh, Most of those points, if not actually more than all of them, came in one single race. That was in Austria where he popped up with a podium. Other than that, it's looked very, very bleak from a hybrid. Up and down form, but hasn't been able to put that Red Bull in points regularly at all.
indeed, he's got a decent amount of pace. And he can fight for points, but then I feel like around some other tracks, I feel like he just really, really struggles. So I have gone for purely on for the podium. I've gone for a rating of 4.
Yeah, I've gone for a rating of 4 out of 10 as well. It just shows there's a lot of potential there. Just needs to unlock that a bit more often. And then hybrid will be absolutely golden, which he showed.
Indeed. Indeed.
Moving on then to Mac is 97, returning to NEF1 after a couple of seasons of hiatus, which was very, very exciting to have him back. Uh, what we saw on the track was less exciting on occasion, however. Marcus was a driver who showed up in periods. Having a good period, then a bad period, then another good period. It started out pretty well. He had a disastrous middle half to the season, then it came a bit stronger towards the ending. And I really do hope that that's uh, a show of things to come from Marcus, that he can pick up off the momentum that he ended up on. I'll give him Marcus a 4 out of 10, mainly because of a lack of consistency, but it just shows there's potential there, he just needs to be able to unlock it.
Yeah, there is a lot of potential with Maccas, I think. The big thing for the field drivers is just like with the consistency. If they can be consistent over a race and not get a penalty, especially if they're around that P8, P7 mark, and you got people in front of you getting penalty, then there's a real chance you could even move up 2, 3, or 4 positions. Uh, Maccas this season, I think, like you've said, he's been on it some days, but just had a couple of misses. So I've gone for a rating of 4.
Yeah, and I've gone for a 4 out of 10 as well. Could be argued maybe should be a 5 out of 10 as well. It could really go both ways with Max. There's arguments to be made for a 5 out of 10 and a 3 out of 10. So I'm probably landing somewhere in the middle out of 4 out of 10. There's potential there, there's pace there, just got to unlock it.
Indeed.
Moving on then to your teammate for last season, SFLY Jamer, and he had an interesting season. Uh, he was solid all season, but he truly came best when it mattered. And that's quite a hard thing to do in JMR's situation. His last couple of races was the thing that ended up clinching the Constructors' Championship for Ferrari. And what he did in Abu Dhabi was honestly miraculous, looking at what he did over the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the rest of his season, his Abu Dhabi performance was beautiful. For Ferrari, I know Alpine might be screaming at me right now, but that's the way of the game. Jamari of the season, he, he's been a really good teammate. Whenever it's been quite annoying for Tez and Matty, I imagine, but whenever he's had them two behind him, it's just turned into an absolute boat and tried to hold him up as much as possible, which I truly appreciate from him. But points wise, he's been steady. He's had a couple of rounds where he's missed, so I feel like there has been an opportunity for more points if he would have done those rounds. But I've put him on a rating of 6 this season.
Yeah, so have I. I was leaning towards a 5, but then just having that ability to pull that performance out when it really matters in a pressured situation like that, winning his first championship in New Era as well with that Constructors' Championship, that just bumps him up to a 6 for me, not cracking under that pressure, which a lot of drivers in this league would have.
Indeed, and it shows that he's not scared of it. I mean, he's won races before, so he knows how to deal with a lot of pressure, which was especially good when it came and coming down to the final few laps of Abu Dhabi last time out.
Absolutely. Had a very, very strong end to the season, Jamar. I really hope he can keep that momentum up. Moving on then to P13 is Emreina, NEF1 newcomer. Uh, Raced for Sauber. It's an up and down season. Played with a couple or a lot of connection issues, should be said, which did sit him back a lot during certain events. It's hard, therefore, to get a real judgment. I've landed slap bang in the middle on a 5 out of 10. There's a lot of pace there and it's very visible, but we've not really seen that translated into maybe more than half a season so far.
Exactly. I mean, with internet problems, it's always difficult to try and rate some, but And Rayner he's a quick driver. I mean, he's got serious pace. I reckon he will be fighting for if his internet problems go away. I do think he'll be fighting for very decent points this season and potentially even podiums. And who knows? Could be the first win. You never know. But purely on just the internet problems for last season, I've gone for a rating of 4.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky that for Emrena with those issues. I really hope those issues will be solved for next season. And I think Emrena could be one of the surprises and one of the drivers to watch out for. But we'll wait and see. It'll be interesting if nothing else. It's a 5 out of 10 for me and a 4 out of 10 for you. So great minds do not think alike anymore, apparently.
No, apparently not.
Moving on then to Recon in that Haas, who had once again a very, very up and down season. One podium in Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. It's the first podium of his NEF1 tenure. 51 points in total and lands on a rating on a 6 out of 10 for me. He did a bit more than I expected him to do.
Yeah, I mean, he was scoring decent points, and in some races he was scoring very decent points. I think well the pairing that you managed to do actually for that season with Wilco and Recon is you've managed to do that quite well because they finished quite close to each other in the championship. So constructors wise, they've done quite well together. Point points wise, like I was saying a second ago, he's done really well. I think he's like he can push a bit more and still. I reckon he's not. There's a bit more pace. I reckon he could be fighting for more higher up points, like those 10, 12 points potentially, if he's really started to push it. This season, I've been quite impressed, and I've gone with a 6.
Yeah, it's been a very good season for Recon, really showing what he's made of, and it's going to be interesting to see just how he settles into what will be his third NEF1 season, if I'm not mistaken, won't it?
I believe so. Yes, he joined last
Yeah,
season.
so yeah, for Recon it is a 6 out of 10 on his season 10 performance. Moving on then to NEF1 newcomer Luna, who split her season in between that Sauber and Red Bull. And it was a rock and roll season for Luna, this really. Really good heights, very, very close to a podium in Brazil, and I was really sad to see that slip away. But a couple of lows as well, a couple of incidents over the season that was costly. So it's just about finding that consistency for Luna heading into next season, I believe. Just settling in a little bit, just finding a rhythm because the pace is there. She's shown that now. Maybe one of the best drivers in the wet in the league. She's absolutely incredible in those conditions. For me, it's a 6 out of 10, very, very close to a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, Luna's pace is really impressive. I was really impressed. When I first saw her wet performance, I was getting a bit intimidated by that because I'm like my wet performance is sometimes not that good. Um, but it's just with the consistency. Sometimes like she'll have really good races fighting up there for like you're saying with like, the podium with Brazil. Then sometimes there's just a couple of mistakes that creep in. So I think if she just gets rid of that those couple of mistakes, she will creep up onto that left side of the drivers' championship. So I have gone agree with you. I've gone 6 as well.
Yeah, I absolutely expect to see Luna on that left-hand side of the table for next season. I think it's more about racing for the championship and not racing for that one single race, if you understand what I mean. Just gotta play it a bit more clever, maybe just hang back for another lap if the move isn't quite on, maybe just let a couple of battles go. It's all about finding that consistency, as I was talking about with Wigan as well, finding the rhythm and just get those results in every single week, pumping those 4, 6, 8 pointers in every single week, and everything will be absolutely golden for Luna next year.
Indeed.
Moving on then to the left hand side of the table, and Mr. Wilco, and this is a season that started off in the best possible way. It didn't quite finish that way, but it still was very, very good for Mr. Wilco, and well above what I expected, if nothing else. For that reason, it's a 7 out of 10. Podium, the first thing he did in Bahrain was, maybe apologies for the swearing, the biggest fuck you performance that I've seen this season.
Yeah, I mean it was a seriously impressive podium. I think he was one of the only other than me with around Bahrain doing the one stop, so he managed to make the one stop work, if I'm not mistaken, with me. Um, but he's been it's the amount of potential he's like gained since last season is incredible. Completely outscoring his total amount of points in one race from last season is seriously impressive, and he's still managed to pick up points quite consistently over the season. So I've gone with a rating of 7 for him.
Yeah, and I didn't know if I actually said my rating for Mr. Wilk. I think I did, but it's a 7 out of 10
Yep.
for me as well. It's just a really, really solid season, but I reckon he could push himself just that bit more as well. I think this season, can he go up and touch that 100-point mark? It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either. I know he's got decent pace. I mean, you've got what 18 rounds and you score 100 points. It's just that consistently you finish like that sort of P5, P6, you'll easily get 100 points.
Yeah, Mr. Wilco, one to watch out for next season. Another one who has been madly consistent. This is a stat as well. Moving on to iWatts. Speaking about consistency and certain people needing to find that, iWatts might be the most consistent driver in not any F1 history, because that's not too difficult. Maybe league racing history. It might not be what he was gunning for when this league began. He has finished P9 in the standings 4 seasons in a row with this result. He usually finishes at about that 70 to 100 point mark. He's just below that this season. Incredible consistency. He gets those points, he gets those results, keeps it clean 99% of the time, and got rewarded with a championship challenge that went up to the penultimate race this season, if I'm not mistaken. iWatts is just a brilliant season from him yet again. He's
Yeah,
been very, very good.
I mean, what does George Russell say? Consistency is key. And I think that look, that fully shows it. I mean, he's been consistently around that like P7, P6 mark, and that's still scoring decent points. If you do that over, you do that over 18 rounds, you're always going to have a decent season. You're always going to really make it to that front part of the or that left hand side of the page. So I've gone for uh, iWatts. If I can find him on my list, here he is. Yeah, I've gone for a 7.
So have I, and that's pushing an 8 as well. Not quite over that mark, but it's incredible consistency from iWatts. Hopefully, he can improve on that P9 for next season. Don't make it 5 in a row. Just a mad stat at 4 seasons in a row with P9. But it just shows that consistency of being able to finish within that top 10 season on season. Obviously, a lot of these drivers will know how tricky that is. Look at drivers like Jamar, for example. Look at drivers like Wigan, Darren, who's fallen out of that top 10 over that same period of time. Uh, it's very, very easy to fall out of it. And iWatts, he just keeps finding ways to find himself within.
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing of getting in there, but it's another thing of staying in that side of the on the side of the table. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, absolutely. iWatts one of obviously when you're looking at just the championship, you don't really notice him in that way. P9, one of the more anonymous positions, but when you're looking at the underlying statistics of it and what he's actually done over the course of the season, he is up there with some of the best.
Yeah, I mean you can't fault it. I mean, as a if you're fighting for constructors, he's one that you always want because he's always consistent. He's always gonna hopefully try and bring you back points, which is what you want if you got him as a teammate because you're going to be scoring consistent points for your team and hopefully essentially winning a championship.
Agreed. Brilliant season for iWatts then, and an even better season for any F1 newcomer, Holman, who just came into the league and delivered straight off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. Came into the league not knowing a single one of us drivers, and then just decides to pop it into EA. And he's another one like here in Marina. He's got I think he's got serious pace. Um, we could see him on the podium essentially a good couple of times this season if the car's all right and he maybe improves his pace by a couple of attempts. Because all that's the thing with the midfield guys. Like our pace is just a maybe one or two temps around some tracks a lap quicker. But you do that over a certain amount of lap, that adds up. So all you've got to do is just try and find that little bit of extra pace, and then you can be fighting with us. But I think Hallman will do well this season. I reckon he'll be one that you'll see in on the 100 point mark this season. And for Hallman,
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get at least close to that 100 point mark. As said, it's very very tricky in that midfield the way things are right now. But I think Coleman's going to have a better year than he had this season, regardless. For me, it's the same as I was. It's a 7 out of 10. But again, very, very close to an 8 out of 10 for Holman for me.
that's the same for me as well. For Hallman, I've also gone 7, but it can quite easily be an 8.
Yeah. Moving on then to the most winning driver in any F1 history. It's not been a flattering story this season, unfortunately, for our dear former champion. Djokovic, alongside Wingard Williams, he's had a difficult go at it. It started out the first race in Bahrain, and the problems never really stopped. One podium all season, struggling with consistency issues. But when he's on it, you just see that potential straight off the bat. You saw it in Bahrain. He looked reinvigorated heading into the season. Then one mistake, an unforced error as well, coming out of turn 10, ending his race then, and I believe that's at benchmark for his entire season.
Yeah, I mean, Djokovic's always been up there. He's got pace to always fight for wins. Um, like you said, the only thing he lacked this season was like serious consistency, making big mistakes. And the, before he made the mistake around Bahrain, I was thinking this could be like a 4 or 5 way fight for the championship, and then like all of a sudden the consistency just started to drop. So I think he gets that consistency back up. Definitely see him fight back up for the podiums and potentially even the championship. But for this season for Djokovic, I've gone with a very low rating of 3.
Yeah, and there's points to make here. I've gone with the rating out. It's 4 out of 10. And obviously, we based these a little bit of expectation as well. And Djokovic's shown us that he belongs at a level that's higher than 85 points and seventh in the standings. So Djokovic, he'll have a chip on his shoulder for this season, I believe.
Indeed he will. But I think if there's anyone to bounce back, I think he'll be one of the guys too.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, then, is a driver who's a bit interesting when you look at it. Down on points from last season, up positions in the championship. Uh, very, very solid. 2 points away from being crowned a one-time constructor champion with Alpine. Ray 25 had an up and down year. Just needs to unlock that little bit more pace in order to be fighting for podiums and wins consistently. But he is so damn close to it.
He is really close to it. I mean, he came within a second round. Silverstone when he was fighting with me, and I think I had a penalty that I was able to get removed, but I didn't remove it in the end. Um, and Ray got one as well. So as soon as Ray got that penalty, I was like, well, I can kind of relax here because he was really pushing me for that whole second stint around Britain. But Ray's got some serious pace. I mean, over the last couple of races where it's just been like us guys, no live stream or anything. he showed serious pace, especially like when we did one around Brazil. He was just absolutely rapid. He would not leave me alone. So I think we should see Ray's like another one like Orman that we could see quite easily break into the 100 points. And I think potentially fighting for more podiums this season and potentially hopefully some race wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Ray's one of those drivers who there's a very high ceiling. He knows it. He's just got to be able to unlock that on a bit of a higher level, and I think he will. Ray, on potential basis for me, has been given a 6 out of 10. I'd probably bump that up to a 7 out of 10. Just thinking about the results he's driven. Uh, but he's somewhere slap in the middle of those. 7 out of 10 on what he's done, 6 out of 10 on what I believe he was capable of this season. It's just not quite gotten everything out of that Alpine. Uh, but he's not had a bad season per se at all. He's had a very very decent season, Ray.
Yeah, I mean I'm pretty much the same as you. I've gone 7. Um,
Yeah,
he's had such a steady, a good season, but I feel like there is so much potential where he can really. Because this thing like me, Tez, and Matty, like and other drivers around certain tracks are so quick. We want to see more guys fighting us. We don't like running away with it. We want more people to fight with us because it makes it more interesting and makes it more of a more entertaining, especially for like you when you're commentating and watching. So I am looking forward to the actually Ray and other drivers this season, hopefully trying to push up against me and Matty.
yeah, maybe one of the drivers to do that as well will be Noah 48. 120 points, best season in NEF1 to date. For the first time breaking into that top 5 in the championship, if I'm not mistaken as well. Don't think he's been there quite before. Forgive me if I'm mistaken. For me, Noah, it's just been an overall solid season. Not too much to say about it, really. It's a 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean he's been consistent, consistency scoring points, but has he got a podium this year? He managed to get one.
I believe he's got one or
Oh
two
yes, he
podiums
managed
this
he,
year.
he
Yes.
managed to get one in Australia. Oh yeah, I mean he's had a steady season. I mean 12 points, 6 points, 15 points, 8 points. It's consistent. It's similar to Ray. I mean they're both on very very similar pace around a lot of tracks. I think if like it's like Ray and a lot of the other drivers, if we can just squeeze that extra couple of attempts out, they'll be there fighting with us all the way. So I've gone um I've gone with a 7 as well. I did have him down as a 6, but I've changed it up to a 7.
Yeah, same for me with Noah as well. Impressive season. I feel like this season he had a beatable Ondercheck as a teammate. Wasn't quite able to get up to that top level that Ondercheck was performing on, but to be fair to us, second half of the season he was regularly outperforming his teammate, who is a one-time NEF1 champion in spectacular fashion as well, might I add. So Noah definitely one to watch for next season. Could maybe this could be the season where he explodes onto the scene and becomes a true top contender.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I don't want to see just us, so like me and Matty and Tez up there all the time fighting. I want to be fighting other drivers as well because that's what that's what I enjoy about league racing. Sometimes with you can have one race you're fighting with someone like Matty, the next race you could be fighting with somebody like Ray, like I did around Silverstone. So I do hope that we see Noah and Ray up there next season.
Yeah. We're just going to touch quickly on Ondercheck, who sadly is not going to be with us for next season. He's had to leave league due to outside circumstances. So we wish Ondercheck the best in whatever he is going to be doing with his Monday nights. We will surely be missing him. Uh, have you ever seen a more solid but anonymous good season than what Ondercheck delivered this year? 188 points, and he's gone relatively unnoticed.
I think the biggest thing is compared to which was his last season. I mean, his last season he was with me in Williams when before Spenglos left due to due to issues. Um, when he joined, he then was literally like win, 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 and podium win. Whereas this season has been like he's managed to get a win, but then it's just been he's got the odd podium, but then it's always been like P4, P5s. I think that's where we've not really seen him. Um, but if I was to give him a rating for this season, because I actually wrote one down for on the track, I would probably also give him I'd give him a 7. It's just been quite quiet. I've not. It's been a very quiet season for him.
Yeah, and I think that's bang on with the rating. It's a 7 out of 10 for Undercheck. It's been quiet, one race win, uh, just solid overall from Undercheck. He's done everything he needs to in P4 in the championship. It's a very, very good season still. Moving on then to the top three, and we're gonna have less to say, I think, about the top three. It's been quite straightforward, and it's been a very, very obvious top three this season, sharing the podiums more times than I can count. We'll start off with Tess and a championship defense that was looking very, very solid quite often, and very, very not solid every now and again. Uh, it's been a tough season for Tess. Something I believe has gone on with my audio. Hold on. So we are going to see if we can somehow get Squidge back in this party. Don't know quite what's gone on there. I'm just going to open a new one and he'll have to join it. Just give me 1 second. With these technical difficulties, always brilliant when this happens. It is always absolutely fantastic. I don't know quite what has happened, to be fair, but it is what it is. So for Tess, frustrating season. Obviously, main thing that ended up costing him was 2 races in Monaco and Britain, if I'm not mistaken, losing 50 points to Squidge in those 2 races alone, and that really is, obviously, if you look at the championship, what took him out of that fight. He was close behind still afterwards, but just wasn't quite able to recover. For me, it's a 7 out of 10 for Tess. Just a couple of mistakes here and there ended up costing him dearly in the end, but it's still a decent overall season. As we have Squidge in this party now, but I don't know if he can actually hear me or not. Hopefully I can still be heard is the most important thing. Whether he can be heard is another situation. We're moving on then from Test to Matty Adam 98 on 275 points, and what I believe is Matty's best season to date. I can't name a season where he's done better than this. 9 out of 10 for me for Matty Adam. Several race wins, a lot of podiums, multiple pole positions, and really the only thing that cost him from really battling for the championship was a couple of incidents in the first part of the season. In that second half, there's an argument to be made that it was actually better than Squidge, who ended up winning the championship. So as for Matty Adam, it's a 9 out of 10. It's a brilliant foundation to mount the championship challenge on for next season, and I cannot wait to see it. Moving on to the final driver, and Squidge 2017 has not been a completely faultless season, but almost. For that reason, still a 9 out of 10. There's a couple of small mistakes just prohibiting that 10 out of 10, but he's not been far off. 319 points clinching the championship with 1 round to go, winning dual championships for the drivers and the constructors as well. Yeah, really good season for Squidge 2017. First NEF1 title after pressure from Tess and Matty. Should not be understated how hard that might have been. That'll be it for the driver ratings. We did have some awards prepared. I'm going to go over them really quickly. Unfortunately, didn't have time to create graphics for them. We're going to start with the most sarcastic award of the season, which is the biggest tears of the year award, which is given out to Matty Adam 98 for his performance in Saudi Arabia to no fault of his own. Now, fair enough, it's a situation that saw us change the rules of the league in its entirety. Matty losing a win in spectacular fashion to undercheck on the last lap of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So the biggest tears of the year goes to Matty Adam 98. Massive congratulations on that one. We do have a biggest controversy award as well, which in this situation is handed out to Tess for his penalty, which saw him drop from P1 down to outside the points in Monaco of all places as well, which was a 25-point loss to Squid, who inherited that win of a safety car restart infringement. It was one of those situations that really did end up having a big impact on both championships, both the constructors and the driver standings, and is definitely one of the biggest, if not the biggest, controversy of the year. Then we have 3 more awards that are slightly more positive in nature. Sorry, Tess, about that one. We have the Rookie of the Year, the Drive of the Year, and the Moment of the Year. We are going to start with the Drive of the Year, the best individual performance over a race distance, which this season is given to Holman for his drive in Monaco, going from P16 to P4 in a race around Monaco should not be understated. Even though pit stop, safety cars and everything were at play, it is still a brilliant performance, being able to gain that many positions around the track in which you can do no overtaking at whatsoever. So, Drive of the Year, congratulations to Holman. Moving on to Moment of the Year, one singular moment that stood out in the eyes of myself and Squidge when we elected these recipients, and it is given to Mr. Wilco for his immediate podium in Bahrain. Matty Adams saying Squish has perished. Maybe we'll try to get him back once I'm done with this segment. But Mr. Wilco then with his immediate podium in Bahrain to start off the season after having a difficult first season in the F1, immediately showing up with a podium there. It cannot be understated how impressive that was to see, and it is definitely the moment of the year. Rookie of the Year, we had a couple to choose from, including Holman, Luna, and Reina were the ones we count as rookies. And that reward, as you can see, it's quite clear who's going to go to. It is Holman for the most consistent and fastest rookie season in Season 10. So Holman becomes Rookie of the Year in NEF1 Season 11. As Jace is saying, your voice crack shouldn't go unnoticed either, Savas. So it'll give me voice crack of the year, masculinity of the year, if we want to be like that. I'm just going to leave this party now to see if we can try to get Squidge back in this somehow. But it's a bit unclear of what has actually gone on with this. What has gone on here? I do not know one bit. We might be having to do the rest without Squidge, sadly, with those technical difficulties. We'll push through anyway. As ABT has given me commentary moment of the year in Australia. And if you're wondering where that commentary moment is, you can just go have a look at the Australian Season 10 Grand Prix on YouTube, and I believe iWatts will have nicely timestamped it for you. Thank you very much. Looking at the Constructors' Championship, it finished off like this. Scuderia Ferrari wins the championship by 2 points over Alpine in P2 and Mercedes in P3. Uh, really, really tough result for Mercedes there, just falling off a little during those last couple of weeks. Racing Bulls as well in P4, followed by a Haas with massive points, 200 points down actually on Racing Bulls in P5. And it was very, very close between Haas, Aston Martin, Sauber, and Williams. Then Red Bull and McLaren in battles all on their own. Moving on then to what I think is going to be a bit of Season 11 news then. And if I'm not mistaken, this could be awkward. It's the calendar of Season 11, which is on your screen just now. So, this is the confirmed calendar for Season 11, everyone. So, take note. We will be starting the season in the United States of America for a double header. First to Texas and then Vegas on November 24th and December 1st. Vegas being the first sprint race of the season, which de facto means that whoever finishes in first place in Texas is going to be starting in P10 for the Vegas sprint. With the reverse grid or the reverse top 10 grid sprint races that are being introduced. Brazil and Miami and Canada to round out the first part of the season, which is all American. Moving on then to Saudi Arabia, Australia, Singapore, and China, followed by the Savas round of absolute terror. That is the Mystery Grand Prix on February 9th. Do not miss out on that one. I have a couple of fun ideas in mind. Then we have Italy, Hungary, Belgium, Austria, Great Britain for the European phase of the season before rounding it out in the Middle East with Qatar, Bahrain, and the UAE. We're going to have 3 sprint races, 3 two-stop races. We're going to have Las Vegas, Singapore, and Italy as sprint races. Mandatory two-stop races will be Saudi Arabia, Belgium, and Great Britain. Whereas if you don't pit at least twice during Grand Prix, you shall be disqualified. So then, moving on from the calendar to yet more Season 11 news, we'll be starting off with the team reveals. Finally, this is the part you waited for. The top 3 in the standings always get to change or select their teams. They have done so this season yet. And the first driver to get his choice, free choice, is Squidge 2017. And he has elected to remain put in the Scuderia Ferrari with the number 69, unfortunately now being associated with an NEF1 championship. But you can see the Season 10 championship there on the top of the graphic. It was a really, really good season this for Squidge. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Dual championships, his first championship of any kind as well for the drivers' standing status. It's a really, really good season for Squidge, and very much deserving of remaining at Ferrari for another season, which he elected to do. Next season in line, or next driver in line to have his team revealed is Matty Adam 98 then, who is coming on to his 10th season after winning his first championship at Season 2, and he has selected to move to McLaren for Season 10. Number 98 there with that one championship star, and the expectations for Matty Adam surely this season, after a P2 in the standings, will now be a second NEF1 title, which is very, very, very sought after now. Only one driver having won more than one championship in NEF1 so far. That is Djokovic. Matty will be aiming to be the second one to do it. Next driver to have his team revealed has had a number change as well, because numbers keep disappearing from this man. It is Tess, sporting the number 20 now, and he has elected to go back to Red Bull Racing, and that just feels right somehow as well. Sporting number 20 and a championship star next to his name, as well as with all the top 3. And that is the top 3 of the standings last season then, confirmed in their teams. Squidge 2017 for Ferrari, Matty Adam for McLaren, and Tess for Red Bull. So it's going to be an incredibly colourful. There's going to be an incredibly colourful sharp end of the grid. Next driver in line to have her team revealed is Luna. Coming off the back of a strong debut season, Luna is moving away from Red Bull. She is going to Alpine this season with that Spanish flag. That bright blue and pink car is going to be very, very visible at certain parts of this season. Luna usually in the thick of it in that midfield, and now is going to be doing it in the Alpine. Is going to be absolutely brilliant. See, different car to drive. As I'm right now saying, Fernando, yeah, with that Spanish flag, absolutely. Gonna be a different car to drive than what she had last season, both in the Sauber and the Red Bull. But hopefully she can take to the challenge. Next driver in line is Emreina, number 89 then, coming off the back of his debut season for Sauber. Emreina is disappearing upwards a step, if you want to see it like that. He is going to Mercedes AMG Petronas for one of the best looking super license cars of this season, with that bright red flag down in the bottom left. Just works for whatever reason. Looks absolutely brilliant. So Emreina going to the Mercedes team, maybe taking charge of that team as well. We shall wait and see. It's going to be interesting nonetheless. Emreina racing for Mercedes. We have 5 drivers and 5 different teams to start off with then. Hopefully you are enjoying this now team reveal. Whomever left in chat, please let me know. We can have a look at the orders. Just give me a check on who is involved in this stream at the moment. Because we've got quite a high view count. I would love to see who is still in attendance. So I've got to give my throat a little bit of a break there as well with a drink of water. As Noah Larkin says he's still here, sadly. Hello, boss from Kit. Yeah, there's quite a couple of people still here. Squidge has joined as a spectator, unfortunately. We had him for the first part, if nothing else. Moving on then to a NEF1 debutant in 1980s Wildcat, spotted number 29. And this is a driver where we don't really know what to expect from him. We've had him for one race so far. There was yesterday as a pre-race event. Went very, very well. Has a bit of pace still to unlock, I believe, for Wildcat as he settles into a rhythm. But expect a couple of points finishes for Wildcat over the course of the season. He is moving into that Williams outfit with the St. George's England flag as well. Sport number 29. A British driver going to a British team, or English driver going to an English team, if you want to be even more specific. So that is going to be one to watch out for the course of the season. 1980s Wildcat is heading to Williams. Moving on to the next driver then is Kit W41. And where is our dear friend Kit going to end up for this season? Is he finally going to break that Sauber and Haas curse? Yes, he will, because he is heading to Racing Bulls this season, into the Red Bull family, which is going to be beautiful to see. Should give him a couple of good opportunities to play around with helmets as well, which I know Kit does enjoy. So, into the Racing Bulls for Kit, who is expected to have maybe a breakout season now in Season 11. Onwards to the next is Mr. Wilco, racing in Aston Martin last season, if I am not mistaken. Had a good season out. And if that green was a bit too anonymous, this one surely will not be, because Mr. Wilco is going to Sauber for the last year of those incredibly green cars on the grid. Mr. Wilco is going into a Ferrari-powered car, and maybe taking charge of a team for the first time this season. We'll also wait and see with that. But this is an exciting, really exciting move for Mr. Wilco then. Gonna be hell interesting to see what will come of this. Mr. Wilco then racing for Sauber. Next driver in line to have his team revealed will be Hybrid 472K, sporting the number 32, and he is going to Alpine alongside Luna, and we have our first full lineup on the grid. Luna will be joined by Hybrid 472K, looking to have a rebound season in the Alpine, where we know there is a lot of potential. Can he make the most of that potential? Well, there'll certainly be a bit of pressure on him now with a very, very fast Spaniard in the car alongside him. Hybrid make up the first full lineup, first full team lineup of the season. Next driver to have his team revealed then is none other than Ray W25. Came very, very close to winning a Constructors' Championship last time out. Is he going to be able to challenge this time out as well? It is very, very likely, because that has not changed in terms of a lineup. Just colours. Ray W25 is joining Matty at McLaren. It's an unchanged lineup for season 11. If it isn't broken, maybe don't fix it. For this situation, there's no point in fixing this quite yet. Ray W25 and Matty Adam 98 will be racing alongside each other next season as well, this time in the papaya of McLaren, making an old British McLaren lineup as well, which is just that bit satisfying. Next in line as well, Wigan 71, the Swedish sensation from a couple of seasons ago, is looking to rebound massively this season after a very, very tough season 10, worst season to date. Now, where is Wigan ending up? Has driven in basically every single team on the grid so far. I can't think of one he's not driven in. Apart from this, because Wigan is moving to Haas for next season, which is going to be a bit of an interesting thing to see. Usually quite used to seeing Wigan in those Ferrari-powered cars for whatever reason. And this time also Ferrari-powered, but it's not the Scarlet that we've seen him in a couple of times. It's not the Alpine it's been in. It's not Mercedes. It's nothing like that. It's into Haas and the American outfit for Wigan 71. Next driver to have his team revealed is none other than SFLY Jamar Jr. sporting the number 8. And where is he heading? He is heading straight into Championship Defense mode alongside Squidge 2017 for the first time ever in NEF1 that we have a lineup completely similar to last time out. Jamar is staying put in Ferrari alongside Squidge for a lineup that has not changed one bit. Not in terms of drivers, not in terms of teams. It remains put exactly the way things are. Jamar, this is a challenge to you as well. Go do Survival Challenge. I do not want to see the stock Ferrari livery on the grid for next season. I want to see the 70s Ferrari livery on the grid. Please sort that immediately. This is an exciting lineup. They will be up there fighting again. If Jamar can just build off that momentum he had towards the last couple of races of the season, then this will be a constructors' battle to watch out for. Moving on from Jamar then, we are going to Sweden once again, and Djokovic, sporting number 94, the winningest driver in any F1 history, is looking to have a rebound year. He is going to do it in a car that he has taken to a championship before. He is going to Aston Martin, sporting number 94 on the Swedish flag. Rebound year for Djokovic. Now is the time to show what he is made of truly, if he wants to have a go at that 4th championship star. Can he get up there and challenge Squidge, Matty, Tess, and the other front runners? He'll be expecting to, he'll be pushing to. Djokovic then is racing for Aston Martin. Next driver to have his team confirmed is a Beatty. again, looking a bit more in form this season. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how he carries this through into the main races now that the events are actually starting this Monday night. ABT, brand new color scheme, is moving into Racing Bulls alongside Kit W41, and both of these drivers will try to get a bit reinvigorated this season. Definitely have something to prove. Could prove for quite a tasty lineup if the potential comes true. We are receiving word that BT has changed his gamer tag as well. So I will have to redo the super license card. Thank you very much, ABT. This was the hardest super license card to do, simply because of the way the flag is positioned. But it will have to happen regardless. ABT and Kit make up Racing Bulls' final lineup before they surely transition into something else on next year's game, which is not next year's game, it is next year's expansion. Moving on then, I already revealed who we're moving to. We're moving to iWatts because I accidentally misclicked a button. And iWatts also one of those drivers who will continue pushing on 4 consecutive P9s in the driver standings. Has challenged for Constructors' Championships in the past as well. And he will have another opportunity to do so because he is staying with Tess in Red Bull, a outfit he is very, very familiar with as well, having been there several times alongside, for example, Danny DC97, challenging for Constructors' Championships way back in, I believe, Season 4. Don't quite quote me on that. So, the top 3 teams remain unchanged in driver lineups from last season, only switching colors. If it ain't broke, my thought was do not attempt to fix it. We've had a hell of a constructors battle this season. Why not do it one more time before we transition into the next set of regulations? As there went the final slurk of water that was very, very much needed. Moving on then to the next driver to have his team revealed is Recon21. Had a very, very decent overall first season. No massive heights, really. A podium in Saudi Arabia, but I reckon this is a driver that will take a couple of steps forward. He's going to get to do that in the Williams this season, alongside Wildcat, which could be a very, very tasty lineup on paper if they can get the potential right. Should be a very, very decent midfield outing. And Recon hopefully is going to settle into that Williams pretty quickly after having been driving very, very different machinery, very, very different sounding machinery last season out. Is one of the things I struggle with a little bit, adapting between engine noises. Hopefully Recon then can adapt better than I can and have a better season 11 than he had season 10. Still wasn't bad. Next driver in line is Holman, sporting number 88, and he is moving into nothing other than the Kick Sauber alongside Mr. Wilco for a very, very tasty lineup there as well. Again, last season we're going to see this bright green car. Might as well see it at the sharp end of the grid. Where I expect Holman to be. I expect him to be battling for podiums a couple of times this season. Expect him to be fighting, fucking hell, for points every single race this season. So Holman, one of the drivers to watch out for. One of the drivers to watch out for if you take into consideration what happened in Abu Dhabi as well. But apart from that, one of the drivers to watch out for in terms of pure pace, racecraft. He is the full package deal, is Holman. Next lineup to be completed will be completed by Darren Style, sporting number 93, and he will create the first all-Swedish team in a long time in NEF1, as the Swedish dominance has gone away. He's moving into Haas alongside Wigan 71 for an all-Swedish lineup that really has a lot of work to do if they want to climb back up the field. They have the potential to climb a long way back up the field, but they've just got to get their head down and work together. Darren Style and Wigan hopefully can put their collective head together and get Haas a couple of points up the order from where they were last season. Moving on then to Noah 48 is the second to last driver to have his team revealed. It is either Mercedes or Aston Martin if you have kept track of what is going on. And Noah will be joining three-time NEF1 champion Djokovic in Aston Martin. For what could be a championship winning outfit. It could also be a champion, or it could also be an outfit that just comes a bit short of being able to provide a championship challenge. It's gonna be tough for Aston Martin, but they should be there if both drivers live up to their potential. Djokovic needs to take another couple of steps forwards. Noah need to really cement himself as a top driver. And if you're looking at points from last season, Noah's heading into this season as team leader as well. That means the last driver to have his team revealed is Mac is 97, and as I said, only one team left to go, and that is Mercedes for Mac is 97, alongside M. Reina for what hopefully is going to be a tasty lineup with the two as well, hopefully getting along pretty well in that outfit. It's just going to be a vibe team, Mercedes, I reckon. They're going to score their points. They're going to be consistent. They're going to get a couple of good results, a couple of bad results, but that is to be expected with any team over the course of the season. That is the team reveal done then. And as we look on the Drivers' Championship, there you can see the lineups and just how that graphic is going to look. Hopefully you're going to like it. Those zeros are going to get turned into 1-0 when points are added on to this board, just so you know, just on there for show and to fill out a bit of space. So Squidge alongside Jamar, Luna alongside Hybrid, and so on. But looking at the Constructors' Championship graphic is where everything is going to happen. Ferrari, Alpine, Mercedes, Racing Bulls, Haas, Aston Martin, Sauber, Williams, Red Bull, and McLaren. A couple of teams that are automatically going to take big leaps from where they finished last season, especially McLaren and Red Bull that were nowhere to be found for a majority of Season 10, will be right at the sharp end immediately in Season 11. In terms of championship potential, you've got to look at those top three again of Squidge and Jamar, Matty and Ray, and Tess and Iwat. But I'm quite intrigued as well by Noah and Djokovic. If they unlock their potential, they definitely could, maybe should be up there as well. So what are your thoughts on this, everyone in chat? We're going for about an hour and a half, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know your thoughts on the lineups down below. We'll get some immediate reactions now that you know absolutely everything that is going on. We'll also go back to the calendar, just so we have that up on your screen. There's a couple of flickers to go. There we go. Got the calendar up, and hopefully those lineups will be to your satisfaction. People seemingly quite happy. Jay saying, don't sleep on the Aston Martins. I don't think anyone will. It's a very, very tasty lineup on paper, the Aston Martin team. Emreina, very, very happy with the Mercedes. Kit seeming happy with his Racing Bull there as well. So it feels like I've done an okay job here. The first round of the season will be held in the United States in Texas, round the Circuit of the Americas on November 24th. That's only a couple of days away, so do not miss out on that one. I believe it's about 28 laps, if I'm not mistaken, around there, 80 minutes worth of qualifying. And then, for the first time in NEF1 history, we will not be qualifying for Vegas. We will have the sprint grid set by the finishing order in Texas in this case. Otherwise, it'll be the championship order, but in this case, they remain the same. Unless the fastest lap point comes into play, that shall be determined at a later date. So then, moving on then a bit later to Brazil and Miami will be the final two races before we go on a 2-week break over the holidays to make sure you can all celebrate Christmas and New Year's uninterrupted. Then we're back on January 5th running uninterrupted till April 6th when we round out the season. Unfortunately, a couple of technical difficulties tonight with Squidge disappearing very, very in the middle of absolutely everything. These things unfortunately happen when we do these streams. Wasn't able to fix it tonight, but thank you, Squidge, very much for joining me for the first half of this event. It's brilliant having you here. To everyone else who's been watching through this, thank you very much for your patience with this format as of still. It's the surely ninth, 10th time we're doing something like this. It's as fun every single season bringing this to you. And thank you very much for the patience with news regarding this season as well. It's come late, but now we are just 6 days away from starting this NEF1 season. My name's Ben Savas. Thank you very much for letting me host this Season 11 reveal stream once again. For myself and all of the admin team, we wish you all a brilliant season of racing in the F1. We will see you on track in 6 days' time for the opening round in Texas and Circuit of the Americas. Until then, stay safe, have a good one, and peace out. We will see you in a little bit.